Good evening, everybody. Welcome to simracing Bible. Welcome along to our stream this evening. We are back in Automobilista 2 this evening because we're going to be celebrating the 9 hours of Kyalami, which is happening this weekend. Currently, actually, right now, in fact. I think it's just finishing up. But yeah, so we're going to be celebrating the Kyalami circuit and the endurance racing, which has happened there over the years. So we're going to be doing some different cars and some different kind of history moments of the Kyalami endurance races, which have been part of the endurance world for quite some time, but has only fairly recently come back into mainstream GT racing. So yeah, we're going to be giving that a try this evening. Welcome along. Hope you're all well. Right, let's get ourselves into the game now, and hopefully we can be up and running. Welcome, Marty. Good to see you. Marty's here already. Right, let's get ourselves over into the game now, and we'll get ourselves set up with our first one. I've been a bit mad and a bit flustered this evening, so we'll get there eventually, but it's going to turn down volume just ever so slightly, so hopefully it's not clipping too badly for you guys. Let's turn that down a touch. Right, okay, right. Should be good now. Anyway, how are you doing? Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Right, let's get myself into the game now. So let's see what we're going to start off with for the evening. So we have set up here some races we're going to do. So rather than doing 9 hours, obviously, which would be a bit of a crazy thing to do, we're going to do 9 laps instead. So we're going to do a series of 9-lap races at Kyalami itself. So it's not always been a GT3 race, obviously, because GT3 hasn't been around for that long. So currently it runs as part of the Intercontinental GT Championship. But before then, it was used in World Sports Cars and other sports car events in the past as well. So we've had some very famous race cars there compete over the years. So I thought we'd use some of the more historic stuff as well as the modern stuff in AMS2 to kind of replicate some of that endurance racing legend which has happened at Kyalami. So to start off with, we're going to be jumping in the BMW 2002 Turbo, and we're going to run around the 1976 version of Kyalami, because obviously the circuit has changed over the years. So we're going to use a bit of both this evening. So, right, so let's get ourselves into this first one here. We've got some opponents on. We've also got the GT Classics in with us as well. So it's a bit of multi-class for this one. So we'll actually put on we'll put a little bit of practice on, just because I want to make sure I'm going to be okay driving these things before we jump into them, which I'm sure will be fine. So let's load in. See how we get on. Raymond's here. Welcome, Raymond. Good to see you. Welcome along to the stream. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, we're going to have some fun this evening. Just a nice casual kind of celebration of Kyalami, I suppose you could call it. And it's quite interesting, really, because the two circuits here, the old historic version of Kyalami and the more modern version, very, very different in terms of their layout. So it's going to be basically a race of two halves, I suppose you could call it. But here we go. So first up in the BMW, you'll notice I've gone with the BMW this time rather than the Corvette, because last time we had troubles in the Corvette. So we'll give the BMW a chance this time. There we go. We've got some of the street Corvettes, and of course there's the 911 RSR. All right, and we're up and running for our first few laps here at Kyalami in the BMW. Right, let's take it nice and easy just to get ourselves up to speed. We've obviously got no tyre temperature whatsoever, so we'll try and build some of that up as we go. Now, I mentioned there's been a few different types of cars racing here at Kyalami over the years, and obviously we have the more modern day GT stuff. But there's also been prototypes racing here in the past as well. So although we can't replicate exactly everything that has driven here over the years, we can at least enjoy some historic machinery and have a bit of fun driving them around this great circuit. So this, of course, is the 76 version of the circuit, which is a little bit more basic in terms of its track furniture, but still pretty cool to drive on. The inside of that Corvette through there, towards the pretty much the final corner, I suppose, on this circuit. You don't count the flat-out kink at the top of the hill here. So I've turned down some of the settings to try and help it be less stuttery, so hopefully it's not too bad for you guys watching along. Oh, here comes one of the Corvettes using all its power. It's one of the more advanced race versions of the Corvette. Almost flat out in 5th gear. Down through the gears to 3rd, maybe. Luckily, the Kyalami circuit is quite wide in this case. I managed to stay on track, which is nice. Alright, up through here, this flat out kink. Had a good run on that other BMW there. Of course, we're on the outside as you run into the right hander here. Stay on. No, we're off. So, earlier on I was saying that I was going in the BMW 2002 because I'd be able to control it better than the Corvette. It's worked out well already, hasn't it? Okay. We'll be fine. Let's go into the race, shall we? Skip to the end, continue. And, yeah. So where are we starting for this one? I forgot to see where I was putting it. Okay, we are dead last. Perfect. Well, at least we can make up some spaces. Rolling starts here. Evening, Craig. Okay. A full field of GT and touring cars in front of us. Let's try and mop up as we get down to turn 1. We can get up 3, 4, maybe even 5 wide along the straight here if we really wanted to. The GT Classics are getting a little bit of a gap in front of us, but let's see how we get on through here. So it should be a decent mix of corners between favouring the BMW and then the straights favouring the Corvette. So let's see. Big wallery Corvette getting up on the curve on the inside there. Cut off. Little oversteery moment in the middle of that corner. Boxed in here though. Come on guys, let's get through this corner. Into the downhill chicane section, which is one of the corners which you can recognise off the modern version. We're in the wall already. That's not the way to start an endurance race. Or even a 9-lap sprint, for that matter. Okay, let's persist. That's what we can do here. So Craig loves this circuit in the old F1 cars here. It's very well suited to those particular cars. Over the start-finish line here. And the slipstream of the cars ahead. Where's the braking point? We go there. Yeah, he's slightly better on the brakes into there than we were, but it's deceptive first corner though, because you think you've got the braking done and it's all fine, but and then you run out of road on the exit, so you've got to slow it down a little bit more into there, I think. So the 2002 Turbo may not have been a regular touring car endurance racer at Kyalami, but this kind of era of cars was definitely part of the early days of the racing. What we'd love to be able to do, of course, is take out something like a 250 GTO Ferrari or something similar, which would have been where the roots of this event would have been. In that kind of era of car. Oops, getting a bit feisty in front with the Corvette there. that's going on here. This is where the Corvette should just take off and disappear. Except he's too scared to. We've got that other BMW to our left. Let's see if we can make it 3 wide. Why not? Just looking at the radar there. To be fair, we're actually keeping up with the Corvette. I wasn't expecting that. Too chicken on the brakes into turn 1. Need to press it harder next time round. We'll probably end up blocking up and going straight on, but squeeze into that little gap there. Don't mind me. Come on, let's get onto that Corvette. It's getting away. Getting a little bit more in tune with the BMW now. He says, about to run off track. So excited to try and catch up with that Corvette. Alright, now we have the inside for the final corner. Little bubble on the curb, but we are through reasonably safely, and we have cleared the car next to us, so let's get our head down and focus and go forward, shall we? So we can catch the rest of the cars up ahead. The 2002 is it's a fun little car, really. Let's see what happens up here. If they start battling, that might help us out a little bit. Let's be strong on the brakes. Perhaps a little bit better. He's still caught up quite a bit on the exit. Oh, through the middle of the corner. It's not quite flat, that one. Not quite. So that's this is lap 4 of 9, so we've got a few more laps to make some progress here. Let's see if we can do just that. Again, going way too deep into that corner. Oh, there we go. We've got some battling going on in front. That's what we need. It's fun, just flicking it through that chicane. You just feel the weight just transition from one side to the other. That's really, really fun. Probably is a second gear corner, that one. Maybe. We've definitely pulled away from the cars behind. Close the gap up front, so that's what we want. Need more of that. So it's a bit of a quicker lap that time around. Still scruffy, but let's see if we can neaten things up and improve our lap time even more. So brake probably now. Better. Yeah, just feather the throttle through there just to keep the speed up, but not enough so that we run off on the exit. Right, let's try and find the apex there, that's a bit better. Now this part of the circuit is one that you'll be able to recognise from the modern day version of Kyalami, and that particular corner is also one of the tricky ones from that version as well, so we'll get onto that as we progress through the years. Now I am going to leave it in third through there. As long as I keep the apex speed up, it should be okay. Now we're hunting here. What are we? We're currently 7th in class, so still work to do, but got a good couple of spots in front of us here which we should be able to grab from these other two BMWs. Yeah, that was a much quicker lap. Let's gauge our braking point off these guys. We've got a better exit off the corner than them, that's encouraging. Little lift. Back on the power, line them up. It's coming across and blocking me. Outside. It's not always the strongest idea, but thankfully gave us some room. Know where to go there, so have to lift off a little bit. Get tucked in on the exit. We'll try and maximise our run off this corner here. Okay, radar says we're through, and there we go. The spots game up to P5 now, as we approach our beginning of lap 7. Obviously these laps will tick off a lot quicker once we start getting into the faster cars. Have to turn 1 once again. So Marty says, today, first time testing out R-Factor 2, let's go through this corner and I'll carry on with the rest, on the SimiQ 2 Pro. R-Factor's, well, I feel like nearly tore my wrist apart. I was only running 11 Newtons on the wheel. Yeah, I think you probably find it's particularly tricky on the curbs on R-Factor 2. That's what I find with my direct drive wheel. It seems to be really strong when you hit the curb. Everything else is alright, you can kind of deal with it, but yeah, those curb strikes are what really can damage your arm. Oh, that was nice through there then. Oof. Let's try second. So how are you finding your rig now, Marcy? Have you got it all set up, apart from obviously force feedback? Have you got everything else working as you'd like it to, or have some other things you want to adjust as you go as well? Blue flag. We've got some faster cars coming through. Here comes one of the GT Classic Corvettes. Smashing past us. Maybe he'll help us out with some of our competitors in front of us. See if we can slow them down for us. More blue flags, we've got some more quicker cars coming through. Please don't take me out. Try and drive as predictably as I possibly can. These Corvettes just slamming past us. I don't know where all the 911s are though. Seems to be more favouring of the big V8 around here. Ooh. There's a car on the inside then. And it's another corner. Well, the green one's come closer to us, so we've still got one more lap. Ooh, that's a big moment from one of the, the lapping cars in front of us there. Oh dear. Oh good, so, oh, of course we got lapped, didn't we, so we didn't have a chance to do that final lap. So Matty says it's awesome, the stick pedals are sublime. They are. They're very, very good. Okay, so that's first race in the books. So we, yeah, ended up P5 in class there. I believe the first lot would probably be all Corvettes, so all good. All right, well we survived. Wasn't quite 9 laps because of the faster cars, but it was a 9-lap race for them. Right, well let's move on. Let's find some of the other cars that potentially would have been racing at Kyalami over the years. So we'll actually move ourselves forward into some other cars here. So we've got a car which has actually competed at and won at the Kyalami endurance event over the years, which is this, another BMW. This one is the M1 Procar. I'm not sure if it was an actual Procar one, but it may have been like a Group 5 spec M1. I'm not entirely sure. I couldn't really tell from the results really. So, but we got an M1, so we're going to drive an M1, and we'll stick with the classic layout here because 70s cars. Yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So let's drive this. Oh, hang on. We're going to be multi-class with the GT Classics again. We'll just do an M1 race, I think, for this one. So we'll come back out and load back in again. But yeah, any excuse to drive the M1 Procar, we're always there for that. So should be good. Right, let's get ourselves ready to click back out of here. There we go. So Marty says, girlfriend wanted to come over just now. Told her, no, Phil's on. I obviously seem to be one of your priorities, Marty, but no, she's welcome to come over. She can watch too if she wants. Right. Yeah, grid. Let's go same class. This time we'll definitely get our 9 laps in. Oh dear. That's cool. I'm glad you're enjoying your rig, Marty. I think it's exciting. I'm excited for you with all the new stuff you got to play with. It's always fun when you've got some new stuff to mess around with and get used to, etc. It's always good fun. Right, again, just a quick recce with the M1, so I don't go out driving it like a 2002. Try and drive it a bit straighter, I think. Beautiful grid of cars, all creating the same amazing sound. I can never get tired of that. Right, let's get some warmth in the tyres, get used to it a little bit. Again, it's a lift through there. Potentially a lift through there as well. It's going to be a lot quicker, this one. Lock up into there. Right up over the curve on the exit there. Quite sure what it's going to be like because the curbs on this historic version are quite large, so you don't really want to be hitting them too much, especially with a low slung car such as this. Really unsettle it, but if we can keep ourselves away from them, that can only be a good thing. Right. There we go. Tyres are slightly less stone cold than they were when we left the pits. Let's see if we can get some grip as we go through turn 1 here. Get it turned in. It's not one of those corners where you leave it to the very last minute and turn in. It seems to be a case that just draws you in, so you kind of start your turn-in process a little bit earlier and then eventually get yourself to the apex. Even third through here. Second through here, possibly. Getting used to it a bit more now. We've got some greens on the tyre indicators, which will definitely help us out. I think we should be good to jump into the race. So let's go back to the pit box and we'll skip to the end and continue. Let's see. Okay, we're still in P3 for this one. We have got a random grid selected, which is going to keep it a bit interesting. So we're going to be towards the front this time. With a podium chance available to us. Right, rolling start once again. Let's see if we can get the jump on these two. Here we go. Anticipated the light change, and now we have a nice clear view down into the first corner. We can even get ourselves back over to the racing line before the braking point. Nice long drag into turn one. Nearly threw it all away. We're still going. Power down. Okay, so yeah, it is flat through there, I reckon. Yeah. It stopped. We did. No, I'm going to try third through here. Ooh, there's an under tray gone. No, it's definitely not third. This last corner is quite tricky because the initial part of the corner is quite tight, so you have to get it slowed down for that, but then it makes you feel like you're just not going through there quick enough because the exit opens up so much, so it's a difficult one. Do you either try and throw it in there really quickly and hope you don't run out of space on the exit, or do you play it conservatively and make sure you get into the apex and then just try and get on the power really early? Uh-oh. Got away with that one. Use the second gear there, perhaps. Although it's a little high in the rev range, but they might be alright through that. So Martin's Acertech should send you their new wheelbase for review. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But I know they've got some main reviewers, obviously, which they've sent them out to. And there's been some very positive reviews, actually, of the wheelbase. I did try it in January at the Autosport show. I tried both wheelbases. Obviously, it's different when you're trying it on someone else's setup and with their own individual settings and things, but it felt good then. But yeah, they're obviously working through some little changes in the quick releases, which they've been doing recently, just to make sure they're better quality and durability. But yeah, maybe at some point we might have a chance to get ourselves a proper hands-on experience with them. for now. We have to enjoy the amazing pedals and boots that they've sent, which are really, really good. So I've not really mentioned too much about the boots because it's not really worth a full video on them, but for someone who's actually been used to driving in socks for the majority of my sim racing career, jumping to using boots, mostly because of the kind of aggressiveness of the pedal plates on these Invicta pedals, because they're quite sharp actually, with all the holes that are drilled into them, kind of means you really do need to run boots if you're using them for an extended period of time, especially if you're doing heeling and towing. If you're just doing on and off with two pedals, for example, or doing GT3s, it's not so bad. But if you're doing heel and toe stuff like this, you kind of need to be using boots. So yeah, it's been a difficult thing for me to try and adjust to, really, because you lose so much in terms of feel on the pedals when you've got a whole load of quite stiff rubber between your feet and the pedal itself. But having gotten used to them, they do feel very nice. I mean, the main things which are worth looking at when thinking about the boots themselves is the flexibility of the sole itself. So you want to make sure that there's a good element of flex in there. If the sole is just too stiff, then it just loses all feel on the pedal, and you can't be fine with your adjustments on throttle or brake or whatever. Oops. Alright. More floor gone. Alright, we're good. But yeah, so these boots do feel good, and you don't really lose too much in the way of feel on the pedal itself. And these pedals are quite stiff, so obviously the brake pedal is really, really stiff. The throttle is reasonably heavy, so by running the boots you don't necessarily lose out. If I was running some pedals like I don't know, like some Logitech G29 or one of the lower level Thrustmaster pedals, for example, which I've really, really liked pedals all the way across the board in comparison with something like the Acertec Invictas, you would probably notice it an awful lot more, because you wouldn't be able to feel where the pedal actually was very accurately because of the boots interacting. But with the Acertec pedals, it's not a problem at all. But yeah, they feel good, they're nice and comfortable, they're nicely padded inside. Good support for heeling and towing. And the other thing worth looking at if you are looking at boots is the heel itself. So some light boots, for example, or race boots, might have some kind of roll control in the heel. So what I mean by that is you want something which is nicely rounded. So if you have a shoe which is very abruptly ended at the heel and just has no ability or feel when you roll your foot backwards and forwards, that makes things quite tricky. But the back of the Acertec boots are nicely rounded off, so that means that when you rotate your foot backwards and forwards on the pedal, you don't lose, you have more control basically. You can just feel what's going on a little bit easier. So we're already through this race quite considerably, onto lap 6 now of 9 in our M1. Not much action going on because everyone seems to be in the mirrors. Taken advantage off the start, and all of a sudden everyone's disappeared. But yeah, so the boots themselves are great quality, and they give you a good feel on the pedals as well, which is what you want if you're looking at a pair of boots. So I would highly recommend them. And they look great too, don't they? They're very smart looking things, and they tie in quite nicely with the rest of the look of the pedals and things. So all matches very nicely. So Marty says, Acertec sent me an email today about the elastomer kit. Yes, so they have a kit with varying strength elastomers which are available. They also have a long pedal version as well, so if you didn't want a short brake pedal, you could have the long elastomers, which allow you to have a bit more travel in the brake pedal. But yeah, the different strengths available, which also affects the distance the brake pedal can be pressed, but also the stiffness of it, so that if you wanted a slightly softer pedal, you could put in a different elastomer, and that would make it a bit more to your liking, potentially. So Marty says the web page, however, throws an error currently. Oh, okay. I was able to view it the other day when I went on. Maybe something's not quite working at the moment, or it's super popular or something. So yeah, Marty's waiting on the long travel kit to come into stock on the US. Yeah, they have got some. They've got an American kind of warehouse thing over there now, haven't they? They've got some stock in the States now, I believe, to make it a bit quicker in getting stuff out to you guys. He's still loving the brake, even at default settings. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Okay, penultimate lap coming up then. Under the bridge once more. 2 to go. That wasn't ideal at all. Luckily, we seem to have a fair lead. So yeah, we've got no one behind us. So from being quite competitive with the other cars, we are massively quicker in the M1s compared to the AI. It's just a bit of a jump between second and third there. You don't really want to leave it too long in second gear, but then you're instantly back down to second gear when you come to the corner, so difficult one. As is that final corner, which is just hard to get right. But it's so important, because you've got to get the run all the way down this big long straight here. If you don't carry the speed off that final corner, you're going to be massively slower by the time you hit the braking point at the end of the straight here. So it's a very crucial corner on the whole circuit, that one. Alright, final lap then. Let's try and get it stopped in an orderly manner this time for turn 1. Alright. But as ever, it's always a pleasure to drive the M1 Procar. Stop. There we go. Hey Skoda, welcome along. I'll leave it in third and see if that works. And it seems to work okay. Right, let's try and take a bit more speed through the final corner. You just can't, you see, because the first part of it, yeah, you've got to take it in slower and then quicker out, because you just run out of road. There we go, swerve towards the pit wall, and we're taking home the win. Well, that was a very event-free kind of race compared to the previous one, but replicating the win of the M1 in Kyalami's endurance races. So there we go. Right, what else have we got? So we're going to stick with the historic version of Kyalami for the next one, because not only have they had iconic cars such as the M1 Procar racing there over the years, they also have had some of this lot. Group C. So we're going to be running some Group C cars around Kyalami this evening. Obviously Porsche was very prolific in Group C days, and they were winners on the roster of cars. So we will probably take the 962 and see how we get on compared to everything else. Now, I suspect with the straights here, the Sauber Mercedes could be a bit of a threat here. So we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Let's just put the AI up a couple of clicks or so, maybe, just to see if they can give us a bit of a run for our money there, because I don't want to be just clearing off into the distance again. I want to try and make a bit of a race of this. So let's see. Let's see. So yeah, so 710 brake horsepower of Group C goodness coming your way very soon. Yeah. Let's see if we can keep control this time. We'll find out. Ah, goodness. But soon enough we'll get ourselves over to the new version of Kyalami and you can see the differences there. Right. Let's go out on track. Of course, the Group C roster has been boosted recently with the Corvette GTP and the Nissan. Oops. Sorry, it was an unsafe crossing of pit lane exit. That's because boost kicked in. Right, again, so just a little exploratory sighting lap. Get some heat in the tyres. Oh, it's quick. There goes the Nissan. Even a fourth maybe through here? And a second. Again, curbs playing havoc. Feel the power in nice and gently. So Muddy says, install the Butt Kicker Pro last week. My cat does not approve. Where did you install it? That's the question. Is it on your rig or is it behind the cab? So only 5 gears, Phil. It's busy shifting to neutral, flat out at the top of the straight. Not great if you want to keep your engine in one piece. With all our downforce and grip. Despite the added speed, that could still be flat through that. Okay. It's time to recalibrate brain here a second. I'm just going to let this little car behind go because things are coming up to me much quicker now. So let's try and get myself in the game here slightly. I feel like I've become slightly lazy with my clutch, so I need to use that more. Big old hit on that curve on the inside there. Just stick with this Sauber through here. This is so much quicker than the M1, isn't it? The speed of it down here. We reached 200 by the end of the straight. Now we're maxed out at 193. automatic. AI looks reasonably strong, so let's get to the end of the session. Let's go into the race and see where we start off for this one. We're 16th, so we have a bit of mid-grid action. What are we surrounded by? Corvettes, Sauers, Nissans. Yeah, it's well shaken up. We got a South African starting 4th as well, by the looks of things, so on home turf. Right. Outside run down towards turn 1 this time. Let's see. Come all Group C cars make it through turn 1 safely? That's the big question. Right, Nissan take off. Hung out on the outside a little bit there. Okay, now we have a chance to try and slot in. Still got a car on the outside though. All of the Nissans. Bit of a block pass into the chicane, but we did make a spot there. Ooh, got up the inside of the Corvette. And I run on the other Porsche as well. Okay. Not a bad first lap. There's a big difference between this version of Kyalami and the newer one, which you'll see very soon. Is actually one is clockwise, one is anti-clockwise in direction. Well, not necessarily anti-clockwise, but one. You'll know what I mean. It goes the other direction essentially. So you start off with more left hands than you do with right hand corners. So ignore that, it's not anti-clockwise at all. It's just slightly differently configured. We've got another run on the inside here. Go side by side through the kink. Another one with a bit of a run behind us here. He's in that slipstream, we got him in the radar there. It's going to keep it down the inside here. Lock the line into turn 1. Managed to successfully defend that position. Whoa, a big slide from the pink Nissan in front. It actually works really well around this circuit with the Group C cars. Close. Can't see where I'm going because there's a car right in front of me. Oops. Oh, there we got mugged. The slipstream here, see if we can get back on terms with them. Nissan's definitely quicker in a straight line, look at that go. Definitely the slower stuff we seem to be a little bit quicker than these AI, but oh, there's a 962 going all over the place in front of us here. definitely can't do the final corner. They're struggling just as much as I am with that. Alright, well, we got the pink Nissan. Let's do the same with this other Rothmans Porsche here. Line up the move down the inside. We're going to go 3 wide, we're going to be in the middle. Oops. Oh no. That was not in the game plan. Got thrown off then because the this time was going past so quickly on the inside, and I was too busy watching that rather than where my braking point should have been. Oh well, I have work to do now. Thankfully there's some battles going on ahead of us here, so we might be able to make use of that if we can keep it on track ourselves. It's one of those things, if you go off like that, you lose all sorts of rhythm, so you just need to regain that and then it'll be all good. Oh well, these things happen, don't they? Not to worry. Turbo boost whistling away. A bit of a dive bomb up the inside here into the right-hander. A load of Porsche stuck at the back of the grid here. If that's saying something. We're all good now. Some other cars to play with. The unconventional line down the outside there. Right, don't outbrake yourself this time, Phil. Grounding out through there as well. There's definitely a bias of Porsches towards the rear of the grid here. Nice and tight on the exit there. Off we go. Had to get out of the throttle there just a little bit, just so we didn't run into the back of him. Right. That's all the Porsche's done and dusted. We've got a Corvette in front of us now. Recovery drive is well and truly on, up to 16th now. Actually, one of the Saubers in front of him as well. Holding him up through the slow stuff. Again, use our superior exit off the final corner. Get past them. So Marty said set up a sorry key on my stream deck mounted on my rig for all the sims I race. It's just a just in case button. Right, final lap then. Let's see if we can get past this Sauber ahead of us. Oh, significantly quicker than I was expecting it to be. This first section of the lap really flows nicely with the Group C cars. You just pick your line and go through these quick corners with relative ease, really. The challenge is trying to get them slowed up and off the slower corners. Right, low fuel lights come on. Hopefully we can make it to the end. I didn't even check fuel. These thirsty Group C cars. Last corner nearly caught us out there. But there we go. Up and over the line. Managed to get back to P14 after all that. Which I think is still an improvement from where we started. Weren't we in something like 16th or something? So that's alright. Progress. Right, well, let's move forward then and test out some of the more modern cars at Kyalami on the more modern circuit. That's the next on our list to test so far. So right, let's go forward in time a little bit here. So we're going to do some more prototype stuff because the sports cars are actually quite prominent on the history of the Kyalami endurance races. So we're going to run some of these more modern cars. These ones weren't particularly have been at Kyalami themselves, but this kind of thing. So we'll choose. Maybe we'll do. What should we do? Let's do like the P2s, P3, something like that. So we'll jump in the Metal Moro Honda here, and we'll go to the modern version. So as you can see here, there's a difference here in the layout. So this is our turn 1, etc. And this bit here, where it's got S2 here, that's the corner which we see here. So the more modern circuit starts off further over here and then comes around this way. So I'm just trying to visualize where this is on the track here. So yeah, you got the start line there. You kind of come up, you go through that bit, and then you come up down here, and then you have the chicane here. But instead of turning right and going back around, it goes left and then brings it back over here again. So it's in the same kind of vicinity as the old circuit, but it's just moved over slightly and then using a slightly different part of the of the land that it's on. So interesting, isn't it? It's just, you see some of the circuit layouts from time, you know, for example, Silverstone, it's on the same kind of area, just some different direction in the middle of the circuit. It's changed slightly there. Or Hockenheim, again, it's on the same, but just cuts off the bit which goes all the way into forest and things. But with the Kyalami one, it's almost like adding a whole new circuit, but using some of the old one. It's quite interesting. Right, so let's go and do these P3 cars around the modern Kyalami circuit and see what that's like. But it's a fun circuit. I like the old Kyalami for the historic stuff. It's really fun to drive around there. Obviously, it's very fast and flowing and quite smooth as well. But I like the modern circuit as well. It's a little bit more technical, but it's still a very fun track to drive. So let's get into it. Okay. Use the paddles for this one. So of course we now have a modern pit lane. And out we go, keeping within the white line, which runs all the way down here, along pit exit, down towards turn 1 here. So Kyalami itself is a circuit which tends to get forgotten quite a bit in MS2 for some reason. It's been out for ages. But it never really seems to get raced, so I thought we'd show a little bit of love this evening. So here we go, this is where we were on our historic layout. Looks pretty different. But this is the fast right-hander into the slower section here as we go left. Still a very tricky corner, this one. And up to the chicane. Curves are slightly more smoothed out compared to what they were in the olden days. And flying up the hill, and so this is where we would have been turning right, but now we get on the brakes as we crest the top of the hill for a tight hairpin that goes left. And you get a wonderful view over the hills in front of you as you plunge back down the hill into this very, very quick left-hander here, which in these cars is taken flat out. And get the car over to the left-hand side, ready for this right-hander here, which is a difficult one. It drops away from the exit. This corner is one of my favourites on the track. Very quick through that, and then into the final corner, which is another hairpin, just in front of the pit lane buildings there. Rear end trying to get round on me a little bit there. And there we go, up and over the line. So let's go for a full flying lap here at Kyalami, see if we can pick up the pace. Try and catch that Rocco ahead of us. So it's an alternative pit lane there as well, which is interesting. Whether they use like a shorter variant of the GP circuit. Very easy to run wide and up over that exit curve there on that one. Definitely feels a lot quicker through the chicane on the modern circuit. Obviously the downforce of the prototypes helps with that. These P3 cars are actually really fun to drive as well. If you've not driven them, give them a go because they are fun. Got enough power to be quick to drive, but also have the downforce levels to allow a little bit of driving required rather than just being glued to the ground. Alright. So we did gain some ground on the rocker ahead of us there, but let's jump into the race and get things started. So fairly easy cars to jump into and drive, these ones, so someone says that. Good 2 seconds off the pace, but well, what could possibly go wrong? Right, here we go then. So let's go to the race. We're P3s apparently, on a grid full of Brazilian entries. Right. Well, the last time we started P3 we won, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. Ooh. Giving the car ahead of us a bit of a hurry up before it gives me control. Do the final corner then. Get ready for the lights. And off we go. Bit of a chaotic rolling start this one. And we've got the jump on P2. Definitely secured P2 into there. No one was going to be crazy enough to go around the outside with me dive bombing into that corner. Okay, now we have some company. People are trying to get back through. There's a Rocco behind us as well. I can just see them just queuing up in the mirrors, trying to get past me. So Marty says, going to DIY a wind simulator for the rig soon. Okay. There are some kits out there which you could get, but it's always fun trying to make your own things like that. You get like an inline blower like you get in a motorsport supply shop, or even just any kind of inline fan should do the trick. then it's just how you do the electronics which actuate that. Okay, things are opening out in front of us here a little bit. Let's try and bring them back in. Still got company behind as well, but not quite as close as they were on lap 1 of the race so far, but means we've managed to shake them a little bit. Again, the circuit's quite wide here at Kyalami. Do you like that section through there? You kind of have to pick a point where you can brake in a straight line when you come through that little chicane. Just dancing a little bit on the exit there. Oops, some missed apex. It's difficult when you go through that chicane and you do miss your turning point. It just throws the rest of the chicane all off. So you've got to be quite accurate with the initial turn on that. The leaders are definitely getting away. Close to being flat out, that one. I think we pegged the gap slightly. It's not they're not getting away perhaps as quickly as they were. There's still a big gap there, but they're not disappearing any further. I've got company behind now though. Quicker than me though, look at that go. Let's try and latch onto him. All over that curb on the inside. Oof. There goes the splitter. So over the first part of the lap, the other two in front are definitely quicker. We may have a bit of a advantage through here, maybe. No, it's not quite flat. It's very, very close though. Drive off that final corner quite nicely. Alright. Settling into a bit of a rhythm now, but has to be honest, going backwards a bit here. AI may be a touch strong. off-road on the exit there. Seemed to really close on the brakes there, but I don't think it worked in our favour. Quite difficult to get your braking right into that particular corner because it's so wide, and if you're trying to get yourself over to the left-hand side there, it's quite tricky to judge it all. It's too late. Okay, so we're over half distance now in the race. We have a few laps left, but it's actually closing up for the lead there now. You can see that the two leaders are getting nose to tail into turn one. Let's see if that actually helps us out a little bit, whether they slow themselves down. Hey Personic! Welcome along. Good to see you. Over that curve on the inside there. Wow, that's much quicker through there. When you get that right, you can really carry an awful lot of speed through there. We've pulled some ground back on the guy ahead as well, which is good. All over the place into there though. Alright. So that was a marginally quicker lap than we have done as well, so that's alright. At least we're improving, that's the main thing. It's still slow, but we're improving. Again, it's quite a quick corner, that one. You kind of get drawn into the fact that it might be a slow one, you've got to get the brakes on, but you can carry quite a lot of speed into it. Let's try and get the chicane right again. Did it last time, let's see if we can do more of the same. It's got to be super committed with that turn into the right hander. That's where the gains are to be had. Way too much curve on the inside there. It's first and second are kind of coming back towards us ever so slightly. Better. Alright, we're not out of this yet, guys. There's a chance we could still get that podium. It's a good half a second quicker that lap round. We've got a good 3 laps to go here. A little bit quicker through there that time. Getting more in tune with the car. It's so good through there. It's a good corner. Let's try and keep it off the curbs as much on the inside. Come on, we can do this. We're going quicker again this lap by the looks of things. Obviously fuel's burning off, but that is down to the car and learning it a bit better. Alright, we're in this. That's even closer now. So we did lose a bit of time at the end of that lap, but we're still quicker than we were last time around as well. It's certainly working on my right shoulder. That's feeling quite tight at the moment. Just holding onto this thing through the corners. Oh, that's way too much of a cut on the inside. Kept the foot in though. Lost ground again. Pretty physical track this one, really. Don't get too many opportunities for a break. Obviously the main straight is one of those. But everywhere else, it's pretty non-stop, really. Very non-conventional line into that final corner there. Well, I wouldn't recommend doing that for preserving life of your tyres during an endurance race, but... Alright, final lap then. It's now or never. So you just stay close enough to him so that we can potentially make a move into that final corner where we're a little bit quicker. Just throwing everything at it at the moment. Oh no. Missed the apex into the left-hander, but we're still just about with him. It's as close as we've been for some time. He's got much better straight line speed than we do. It's too far back. Come on. No, he's got the acceleration of the corner that we almost had him. Whew. Well, that was quite a good race. We had a bit of stalemate in the middle where I thought we were losing out and just going to go backwards and backwards, but managed to pull some time back and make a bit of a race of it for the podium, but didn't quite make it in the end, so that's a shame, but it's good fun anyway. It's how far were we behind there at the end? It was wasn't that much. So our lap time was 45.4. So yeah, we were. Our quickest lap time was quicker than everyone else in front of us. So why are we so far back? Anyway, never mind. Good fun. Thanks, Coda. It was it's quite a full-on drive, that one. Actually, there was quite a lot going on there. But good cars, those P3 cars. They are fun. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to stay modern, and we're going to do what you currently find racing at Kyalami, which is the GT3s. Now, these are obviously a little bit older than the current spec GT3 cars that we see running at Kyalami today, but GT3 is the current format for the 9 hours of Kyalami. So we'll run some of these. So we're going to run the Mercedes here, I think. Let's move the time on a little bit there. And we'll just bring that back just one click to 105. I think that might just be the sweet spot, hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, fun circuit, the Kyalami GP circuit here. And you can race reasonably well around here. You can actually, you know, there's a few sections where you just need to follow, but there are other sections where you can go for a move, or you can try and outbrake someone and things. So yeah, there's some good racing opportunities available around the circuit. So Personix has been playing the Racing Life app for MS2. Great fun, worth checking out. Okay, is that some kind of fan-made career mode thing? I've heard of that. Right, let's take this AMG out. Come on, if you're going to come out of the pits, get on with it. Love the sound of this thing. Just enjoying the sounds of this thing for a moment. It's very satisfying going up through the gears. Big M6 in front of us, blocking our view. It's gonna move on. Let's throw one up the outside here. Would make a great stream, maybe, says Personic. Yeah, well, I'll definitely check it out and see what's what with that. The slightest of touches when you're in an unloaded high-speed corner like that, and we're off. Okay, I think GT3 you can pretty much jump into and go straight away with, so I think we do that. Let's return to the box, skip to the end, and go to our next session. Where are we on the grid? P9, right in the middle of the action. So what have we got around us? We have... Oh, brilliant. More M6s. Hopefully they're... a bit quicker than the ones we were stuck behind before. Right, here we go then. The 9 laps of Kyalami coming your way from behind the wheel of an AMG Mercedes. And off we go. Grid's spacing out down the front straight here. Plenty of room to do so. Everyone's trying to get that inside line for turn 1. Orderly actually into turn 1 there, no major dramas. Having just driven the P3 cars, these GT3s look enormous on track, don't they? and spitting from the side of the Mercedes. A third through here, getting turned around. Well, someone didn't tell that particular AI driver this was a 9-lap endurance race. Right, well, let's restart that. Need to be aware of dive bombs from AI drivers. The 9 laps of Kyalami, take 2. Hopefully this time we can make it around the first lap successfully without being taken out. Have a bit more of an aggressive start here to get down the inside. Car on the outside there. It's good while it lasted. Yeah. Unfortunately didn't last particularly long. Just wanted to ease myself into the race, you know? That's how it goes. Right. We're through the chicane this time. So we're one step better than we were last time round. The outside line into the hairpin, obviously it's a long way around, but although you get the initial benefit of having all that clear space to brake into, you just can't get it turned back in underneath to get the exit, so doesn't always work out. A couple of cars into there. Use the curb on the inside. Nicely done. Right, we're moving forwards here. The rear end of the Mercedes. So the P3 cars were rapid around here, but we seem to have the measure of the GT3s. McLaren leading the way from the M6. On the grass on the inside. The M6 is going for it. They're still side by side. The M6 is through. Let's see if we can do likewise. Traction control kicking in on the exit there, because obviously when you go over the top of that crest on the exit of the hairpin there, the car does tend to go light. Size up this McLaren then. Where are we quicker? A bit of a run here. There's all the space at the inside. He was braver on the brakes than I was. He's got back at the inside of the M6 as well. Going to repeat what they did last time around. And then just block the rest of the track for all of us. Okay. And we get a run at the inside here, we might do. Yep, got him. Alright, let's go after this BMW. Yeah, so the exit of the hairpin's like a double apex almost. It's got a couple of elements to it. Oops, little nudge in the rear. Going to defend down here. We're going to have a nice clear run down the right hand side of the track until he moves over in the braking phase. Oops. little nudge there. That's what happens when you move in the braking zones. Oops. Weird over rotation into there, but we're okay. So Skoda says AMS2 is quite a good game at the moment. It is. We've not had much in the way of releases recently, and they've have stated in the development blogs that they are doing major releases every 2 months now rather than every month, so I believe we are due to receive something fairly soon, I think. So we'll keep our eyes open for that, of course. But it's a great game. I'm having problems with streaming it recently in terms of performance, but hopefully we can fix that soon enough. But it's still great fun to drive. And yeah, the selection of cars is always fun. Wow, okay. Unexpected run up the inside there. Stopped. Yeah. It's definitely, I was expected to get punished for running too deep into the hairpin there. We have got a better run off the corner. Let's see how good his braking is into turn 1. Probably better than mine. Again, that strange kind of oversteer moment on the brakes there. That's probably me going into that corner a little bit too quick, to be honest. Right, let's go get him. Let's go hunt him down. Yeah, so AMS2 is still a very, very good sim, which I am enjoying. Looking forward to obviously I think the next content that's coming our way. Not 100% guaranteed, of course, but I'm pretty sure the next stuff that's going to be released is the historic versions of Bathurst and also the Nordschleife, I believe, is coming soon. It should be fun. So we'll have to redo our Bathurst challenge where we do the historic version. We'll use just historic cars for that one, I think, maybe. Oops. Little nudge on the apex, just to remind them we're still here. Hi Toyotech, welcome. Good to see you. welcome to simracing Bible. It's the first time we've seen you commenting in the chat, so good to see you. It says, best on the market right now, in my opinion, he says. Yeah, no, it's something I can't argue with. I think it's really, really good experience. And the Historic Bathurst would be amazing. You're looking forward to that one? Yeah, I am as well. Great circuit. So Skoda says if they could do something with the multiplayer and get it on console. Yeah, I know there's some issues with multiplayer at the moment. A lot of people having disconnect issues or whatever. We had it in our last community race where I was causing everyone to not go through to the race for some reason. But yeah, if they could sort that out, and I think it would be a lot more popular online. But console, yeah, I mean that's an interesting thought, isn't it? Whether they can do that and how well that would sit in the console market. Having a reasonable dice here with this M6. Again, he's blocking the inside. I'm going to give him some space because he still takes up his line on the outside of the track there, and then overslows on the apex. Traction control helping us out there again. So our fuel level is looking low. We have a couple of laps left. Again, I didn't check that, so hopefully we don't run out. Whoa! On the curve on the inside. It's a good run through there. So look for the undercut on the exit. That was timed pretty much to perfection. We got the space back. I need to lose it at the very next corner. Oh well. I'll use Skoda's line there. It was fun while it lasted. So I guess that's the win out the window. Oh dear. Hey Turging, hit the like button. Yes, absolutely. Get into qualifying mode, see if we can get closer to him before the end. So Pasonic says, hope for my long wait for the historic Nord to be over soon. Yes, if you've been waiting for that one to come out since the original Nordschleife for them, yeah, hopefully it'll be worth the wait for you. I'm sure it will be. The historic tracks that Rise do are always really, really good. Skoda says if they do historic Bathurst, we need Tiranas and Falcons. Yes. Old XY Falcons or something like that. So we've got one more lap after this in the race. We are gaining on him again though. Come on, can we pull it off? That's the big question. The new Camaros, yes. I like the look of the new supercar actually. I think they look really, really cool. Nice pass this turn. Yep, and then followed by an F. Yep. Oh well. Come on, let's rein him in. We can do this. Close. We're gaining on him. I think maybe one more lap and we may have been right on his case again. But... yeah, definitely one more lap. That's all we needed. But here we go. Up and over the line. Whew. Well, it was a fun race, even though I did very much throw the win away there. But that was enjoyable nonetheless. So Scudder says, I'm not a huge fan of modern supercars, but they do look cool. We have the new ones, yeah. No, they are cool. Interesting to see how that goes this year. So is it all out of fuel maybe? Yeah. Maybe they were playing with me. Oh, crunch. Yeah, we nearly got him, Toyota. We nearly got him. But wasn't to be. Alright. Okay, well, that's pretty much all I had planned, really. But we might do something a bit mad here. Let's do an all-in race, shall we? We'll add in some cars which maybe weren't synonymous with this particular race in the past. Well, what we'll do, let's first of all add some opponents. We got to choose who we're going with first. So I think maybe we should run. Well, I'm going to run the 911 RSR, and let's add in some other classes here and just spice it up a little bit. So we'll add the DPIs. We'll add GTE, GT3, GT1, Group C, Procars, Porsche Cup cars. We'll do the Tier 1 cars as well. Hopefully that's all in. All right. The aggression is medium. That's possibly why we got taken out. Anyway, save that. Okay, so we're going to skip practice. We're just going to go straight into the race on this one. Yeah, random grid position. That's fine. Yeah, so we'll do some mad multi-class stuff and see how it goes. So it tells you the second are more fun than hot lapping in first. Yeah, no, that's true. It's more of a race. That's what we wanted anyway. So Marty says, usually when Riser gets quiet, good things are coming. Yeah, I think they're hard at work at something, I'm sure. So I think February was one of the months that was earmarked for a release, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, plans change and things change all the time, so we'll enjoy what we get when it's available. So here we are, starting P23. There's going to be a lot of quick machinery out front. Group C cars leading the way by the looks of things. Alright, so we probably won't get 9 laps in here because we'll probably get lapped by the quicker cars potentially, but let's at least just have a little bit of fun with the 911. Going all streaking down to turn 1, already through there in the quicker cars. Getting a bit tasty in front there with the Corvette trying to go on the outside. Very different grip situation in this compared to the GT3 car. Don't hit him. We're good. Still on the outside. You can see them echoing off down the left-hand side there.
Thanks for the stream.
Oh, Pasonic, thank you so much for the follow. That's very, very kind of you. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I thought we'd do something of a slightly different nature this evening, just celebrating Kyalami. Try and keep Funky's 911 in one piece, shall we? This Corvette's just biding his time, waiting for the front straight here so we can just bomb it past everybody. There he goes. This is wave goodbye to the Corvette. Leave us 911s to fight over the scraps here. Yes, of course, we can get back in touch with them through the corners. I wasn't expecting to make an overtake into turn 1 there, it just kind of happened. Understeer on the exit. So I suspect with the pace of the DPIs, they're going to be on us quite quick, I think. So we have to keep an eye out for that. If they don't take us out in the process. Another forceful move. Alright, let's go get that back. This thing's fun. Backing into the final hairpin. But we're not first gear though. As I told you, that's a natural flow pass. Yeah, it just happens. Wasn't forced, just accidental. Look at the power of that thing down the straights. Insane. Now it's our turn to come back towards him, hopefully. Whereas the Corvette's not great through the corners, so hopefully we can use that to our advantage, perhaps. definitely better than him through the middle part of the lap. Excuse me, coming through. Thankfully he saw me. Thought, I'm not getting involved in that. I didn't help myself into there, did I? That's not going to help. When he comes to putting the power down the exit, and he's just going to disappear again. 3 nice flow classes, yeah. So basically what needs to happen here is I need to be ahead of him by a decent amount on the final lap so that we can cross the line ahead of him, otherwise he's just going to blow on by. This is the kind of racing I love though. It's fun because you have to be tactical with it. You can't just expect to get in front and stay there. You've got to plan ahead for things such as straights. Oh, it was nice exiting there. Let's get the cut back on the exit here maybe. No, not enough room. With the big Corvettes. Let's try on the exit of the chicane. No, horsepower's got me on the hill. On the wrong side. I hear the DPIs, they're coming. Yep, blue flags are onto us. Got the Group C cars behind us. Very quickly behind us as well. Don't hit me. We're 3 wide with the Group C cars. Wow. Corvettes are getting up on me. Meanwhile, so it's a bit of a drag to the line as well, so yeah, you need that little bit of breathing room before you get to the line so that the Corvette doesn't get us. Well, the traffic didn't exactly help us out there. That also didn't help us out. So we need the traffic to slow down class leader here. Oh, here it comes. I can just see it in the mirrors. Just instant carnage. Ooh. Doesn't know where he's going. I don't know where he's going either. just go by and don't hit me, please. Look at this lot. Come on, slow him down into here. Give us a chance. No. So that's 1 lap we're not going to get out of our 9. So far it's going to be an 8-lap race for us. Whew. Right. More blue flags. Great timing. More GT1s. Kind of helped a little bit. Aha. we get past him on the final corner and then just block him. That's the other option. That was practice. Oops, I think I may have just massively confused the Nissan behind us then. Oh no. No! Oh, Funky, I'm sorry. That's twice I've ruined a good battle for a lead. Oh well. Carry on, if we can. And just to rub it all in, track limits warning as well. Never mind. It's just throwing my groove off entirely. Alright. Let's get back into it. We're still ahead of the other 911s, so I suppose we should be happy with that. But how far away we were from them with the other Corvette. And the other hope now is that perhaps the other Corvette has an incident and we can catch up with him. Not that I go off into the gap. I think that may have been a result of some damage there, because there's definitely less grip. Ah, dear. Shame. How far back does this replay go? Okay, so this will show us a little bit here. Let's have a watch and enjoy of this. That's where I confused the Nissan GT1. Wasn't expecting a Porsche to go down the inside there. I don't know what was going on here. I was just completely missed braking point. And then grass took over. Oof. So, I think we need to see that from the... Where has he gone? Let's go into chase cam mode here. This one. We need to see that from his perspective, because I suspect it could have been rather close to his front bumper there. So I'll go cockpit mode and just see how quickly this guy's life flashed before his eyes. Right, here we go. I think, opportunity for me. You got on the brakes to get out of that. Totally do not blame him at all for that. Yeah. Oh well, not to worry. Good fun anyway. Right, well that pretty much sums us up for the evening, guys. I hope you've enjoyed that. I enjoy driving Kyalami. It's a good fun circuit, and there's lots of good fun racing to be had with them as well, with various different cars. Whether it's the old version of Kyalami or the new version of Kyalami, there's some really good racing to be had. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed that. That was good fun for me. What was your favourite car of the race? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back with some more AMS2 content soon when they release some new bits and pieces for us to play around with. So we'll obviously cover that when it's released. But yeah, as always, thank you very much for your support this evening. Thank you for sticking with us and for watching along. It's been fun. So we'll see you all very, very soon. Indeed, take care of yourselves, and we'll be back for another live stream next week. And yeah, we will look forward to seeing you all then. But until then, bye bye for now. Take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend.